Black BDSM address. My name is Mataeus, and some people know me by my name Ken, but...
Radio mode. Audio input. Bluetooth mode.
My name is Beastie. Nice to meet you guys. Right here we have.
I need to get your song. Clean bricks out and mix me song. Let's have it.
That's my intro song.
Yeah.
And you are?
Oh. Hi. Bitch, you good. Hi. Okay. Hi, I'm Jakie.
So, I've gathered people here today to talk about BDSM in the Black community. Now, what does BDSM mean to me? It's just my way of life. Things that are vanilla just really don't appeal to me very much. And by vanilla, I mean, just your everyday life. Yeah, we'll talk about the Pacific Grade in a moment. But I discovered my, I guess, kinky side about 9 years ago when I first saw Japanese rope bondage. And the art of it intrigued me. So I looked up more on it, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna try this out. So I went to Home Depot, which is the biggest BDSM store in the world. Got me some rope, started tying knots or whatever. And my girlfriend at the time, she was like, yeah, I want to try this too. Okay, cool. It looked like shit. But I kept practicing with it, and it got a lot better to a point that I was at an event at a club in the area, and someone saw what I was doing, and anybody would accept it. And it just skyrocketed from there. That's where I learned the whole dom-sub relationship, master slave, pet play, daddy dom, all that stuff. So then I've been learning a whole lot in the past, let's say 2 years. I've learned so much more than I have in the past 9. So
I guess I'll go ahead. So my history in BDSM, I guess, comes a little bit wonky in the sense of, I guess, right before high school. Right before high school, I found out my mom came out to me as a lesbian, and I completely accepted her. I was lesbian. I forgot to tell you. That was the main reason why one of my subs actually was like, she really wants to meet my mom. Also have sex with my mom.
I really got to see your mom now.
But so she came out to me a lesbian like right before then, and then once I got into high school, I found out a little bit more about not only BDSM when it came to lesbianism, but then also kind of things like pornography as far as like being an industry and things like that. And it was at that time that some people that I knew through like my history, they kind of took me on under their wing, and they kind of were teaching me. And so I learned not only like the old guard side, but I also learned the new guard side. And essentially, if you don't know what that means, the old guard side is kind of older beliefs of BDSM, and then new guard is kind of the beliefs of kind of the new generation as things like the internet and things like that got introduced into where that fits into the whole BDSM scene. I learned and continued to learn while I was in high school, and then graduated high school. And I was like, fuck, I was kind of lost because I was with someone at the time, and they were kind of vanilla, and I was kind of vanilla, but I definitely wanted things that were a lot different. And then that was the time that I found out about things not only about BDSM, but also about polyamory, about just all these different kind of lifestyles. So as far as what BDSM means to me, like I definitely could try to go back, but I'd be pretending. I'd be, like he said, like I'd be pretty lost without BDSM. So that's briefly what BDSM means to me.
I'm gonna use my mic. I don't care. I brought this. It's heavy. I brought it. What does BDSM mean to me? BDSM, bitch, you better work. BDSM it's my life. It's my bread and butter. It is everything that I live for. When I first came into the community, not officially, but just me trying to figure out what I am as a person, and that was like teenage years, so I was like super emo and shit. I was like, the first guy that I met and everything, he was my first boyfriend, and pretty much we were just trying to figure out each other, but in a sense, I knew that I wanted to be very kinky. Like, I wanted him to like choke me and everything and all that extra shit, and we were just both like, what? But, it happened. And when I finally like lost my virginity, and that girl was amazing. But anyway, when I finally lost my virginity, it was an experience. The first thing I asked was like, hey, choke me out, like, do all this weird shit, like, spank me in my ass, and it was an enjoyable experience. But pretty much what BDSM means to me, it's not something you just find. It's not something you just decide, oh, I want to dabble into it. Once you are actually in the lifestyle, you are in it full-fledged. Let's talk about weed, I forget shit. It's important to me. I can't separate it. I can't go back to being vanilla. I can't sit there and say that I never want to do this again. No matter the bad people that I've had in my life, the bad relationships that I've had, it's always been something that is a calling to me. It's kind of like a religion in a sense. It's a calling. You either accept the calling or you just don't.
Speaking of vanilla, if I were to be stuck or have to go back to a vanilla life, I don't think I'd be able to take it. It would just send me into a deep, deep depression. That's what I think. It's like, where would I be right now without being BDSM? I can't even picture it. Just even the thought of that mundane lifestyle,
Mundane.
in, out, up, down, that's it. I can't do it. I can't do it.
I think that's so funny going off of that is that, like, even when I was just being vanilla, I guess I was being vanilla, but in a weird way because, like, right after my first relationship was the very next relationship after that, I had my first poly relationship, so that went from a relationship with one person to a relationship with more than one person. I'm a big weirdo, so I think even if I were being vanilla, I would be being vanilla, but in a different way. Normal just doesn't fit me. I'll pretend to be normal, but it'll be literally pretending to be like around someone else. So.
Facts. Like, I could never go back to being vanilla because that would basically mean me pretending to be somebody I'm not. Me basically pretending to make someone else happy and basically making myself miserable. And I've done that in a lot of relationships, and not even just in vanilla, but pretty much where they were like, oh, we want you to stop doing this. Basically, it's weird when someone asks you, stop being freaky. But then when they get with you, they're like, I'm a freak. So I could never go back to being vanilla and being, I don't think I was ever vanilla. But pretending to be vanilla for somebody, I cannot, because I would not be happy, and there will be so many things I'll be missing out on life, and I'll be missing great opportunities to meet great people and do great nasty ass things with those people. So fuck that. No, enjoy it, YOLO.
Another thing that I guess it hurts me, but I try to not let it bother me, is being judged by vanilla people.
Oh God, yes.
And when you tell them about what you do, you know, sometimes you're kind of apprehensive about telling them what you're into, because some people are so straight edge, it's ridiculous, and they're so sanctimonious, religious, tell them what you do, and they're like, oh, like if you get ready to faint or some shit. I don't know. But it is especially prevalent in the black community when a lot of people that are actually in the lifestyle, and this includes people that are in government, people that are in the church that are in the lifestyle, but they stay so well hidden, you never know. But just being judged by principles. Yeah, kids' principles and stuff like that. But being judged by the little people is just like, why don't you just try it? See, you just might like it. You never know, you might be kinky as well.
So, I mean, for me, it was like, like I said, I've always been weird. Like, I did sports for all of 2 seconds before realizing I wanted to be a bigger kid. Like, all the old adages of like, you know, you grow up with all the old adages of, well, you speak well, and you know, you're a lot wiser, and you hear enough of that. Yeah, me, right? No, me too. Oh, I was like, no one believes that. But like, you grow up with all those old things that you hear, like, oh, you're very well spoken, and they only go so far. But I've never been afraid of what people have to say about me, just because I also learned early, like, it's all about who you surround yourself with. It's all about, like, who you put yourself around. I mean, of course, I grew up, you know, where a lot of people like me grew up. I grew up on Agent Goodfellow, like, right on the corner. Like, I lived on that bit. Yeah, I did, like, Agent Goodfellow was, like, my old house. Yeah, I grew up on that bit. Like, I've been in St. Louis for a very long time, and I come from St. Louis. And so anytime a person that I know, or that might be like kind of on the fence about life, it's just like, I come from the same thing you come from. And, you know, you can't tell me that you never thought about trying this thing or trying that thing. So is it the person you're surrounding yourself around? Because maybe surround yourself with someone different, you know, but yeah.
I wasn't born in the hood. I was born on a farm, and we killed chickens. But yeah, it's like pretty much don't be afraid to experience it. Don't be afraid to. It might not be for you, but at least you experience it to see if it is actually for you or not. And if it's not for you, then it's not. But at least you had that moment to do it, and you can also meet great people. Like my first time I was here, I wasn't sure if this was actually something I really wanted to be into. I came here just to see, just to, you know, learn, to see if I actually want to be in the lifestyle, or if it was just something I was just, you know, shitting myself with. And I learned so much that day, and I met so many great people, and I ended up building a family here. And it just became very comforting to me, where I knew that this is my life, this is what I wanted to do, that I was always meant to be like this little oddball shit little person. And yeah, so like I love it. It's a great experience. I suggest it for everyone to try it, and don't knock it till you try it, pretty much. That's the sense of it. Don't knock it until you fucking try it.
With me being also a craftsman in this community, there aren't very many of us. I work with leather and metal, chainmail, paracord, whatever it takes to make the items that we use. And to my knowledge, I only know like 2 or 3 other black craftsmen in the St. Louis, Illinois area. And like I said, there's not many of us. So I tend to patronize the black community that works with this stuff. Me personally, I love to get other people to work that's, you know, black, of course. And, and I like to spread the word about my work. I have clients that are in Texas. I have clients that are in North and South Carolina. I have clients that are up north in Ohio. And I send my stuff where it needs to go. Like just recently, I have a project that I just finished that's going to be going to Florida. So definitely I patronize the Black community when it comes to all the craftsmanship work.
I think it's a big thing coming from, I guess, slightly a younger generation. You never see, and a lot of what you know, a lot of your perspective goes off of what you see. And I mean, I tell the owner of this place all the time that if I had known about a place like this, like when I was in high school, I'd be kicking out the door, like begging to let me in. But as far as I mean, you hear about stores like Spencer's Gifts, you hear about stores like, you know, things, little small stuff like that have like little jokes, you know, like have like a little like, oh, here's a penis shaped hat, or you know, here's like a boob on a picture, but like you don't really see it, and then all of a sudden you just come into the world and you hear about a place called Cheap Tricks, but then you hear like, oh no, Cheap Tricks only has tattoos. You really don't think about the fact that like they have toys and stuff like that, and the fact that someone makes those toys, and more than likely you never think about the fact that it could be a person that looks just like you that comes from your same background.
Sex shops are vanilla BDSM.
Yes.
Pretty much that's where you go to get, you know, white people value, like, oh, he's got and I have such a nice gal. That's what sex shops are, in my opinion. Like, you don't go there to actually get good BDSM quality material unless it's actually made from a person who's actually in the BDS community and not a fucking warehouse and actually brought in as a separate vendor. If it's made in a fucking warehouse, it's pretty much just made for vanilla people who just want to think that they're naughty.
It's the great value brand like Walmart.
Great value, Jacob.
Great value J-Ho.
Yeah, but we lie.
Why do you do that when we got love? Oh, fuck.
Okay, so the next question is, if I were stuck as vanilla, how would that affect me?
How would that affect you?
I'm gonna let y'all go first.
If I was, like I said before, if I was stuck vanilla, I feel like, oh man, I'm too much of a rebel. Like I'm too much of a person. Like I know too much, and my mouth gets me in too much trouble. Like even if I were like stuck in vanilla, like I feel like I would know the person to like get me like non-vanilla stuff. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I would know that person is just like, hey.
Yeah, you got the plug. You got the plug.
Like no, when I say anal, I mean like anal. Like I'm talking like hot kinky Joe. Look her up if you never heard her. Like we're talking deep anal. We're talking like double, triple anal. Like give me the good stuff. Like I don't know. Why can't you
Why? There's only one back there. If there's two, I don't think.
I hate the name drop, but look it up. Hot kinky Joe, look her up.
Oh, hot kinky Joe.
Hot kinky Joe, look her up. But no, I mean, it's just like if I were stuck vanilla, I mean, I kind of feel like I already was. Like I come from, like I think we all, like I was that kid, like I was not afraid of being sick. Like I stayed up religiously, like every Saturday and watched BT Uncut. Not hoping to see like, you know, not hoping to see something like that, but just because this is like on TV, on actual TV. I didn't have to go to Cinemax. I didn't have to go to Showtime. I could go to BET, and I could see something that was out there. Like I always have to see something like that.
Tell me what that thing smell like.
Like I had to. So like, even if I had to sneak, even if I had to like know how to get a back way, like I would probably fight to find a way. So that's just me personally.
Not me being stuck. I think if I were in a vanilla relationship and I was stuck vanilla, but I was really kinky like I am, it would probably cause a divorce because I would be totally unhappy. I would just be grumpy all the damn time, not being able to do what I want to do. And you're like, this shit, I'm going to do. Find some shit to do. You know, it would just cause a rift. It would just get wider and wider until you're like, you know, peace out. You keep the kids. I'm out. I got money coming to you every month, and we good to go. I'll find me something else. I just cannot be vanilla. I just can't do it. I've had the taste of what I like, and I like it, and I don't want to go back. It's like a drug. You know?
Alright, if I was stuck as vanilla,
Absolutely stuck.
like, I was in there.
Love your life.
I would fucking be so fucking miserable. I would not be able to enjoy life. It would be like in this sad relationship where I can't really show who I am. I would be like, I would never wish that upon nobody. Like, I could not be stuck vanilla because I would not be happy. I would be miserable all the time because I cannot just sit there and do missionary all my fucking life. Like, and I am a very, very fucking freaky person where it's like, I need to have sex like 3 times. I'm a hypersexual. I need to have sex, I need to feel it, I need to feel the emotions in it, I need to feel everything in it because I get attached sexually. I get very fucking attached. And if I have to basically just keep it very vanilla and stay that way for the rest of my life, yeah, I would fucking slit my wrist right now, bro. Like, it's over. Like, fucking just go ahead and end it, because I'm killing somebody. It's gonna be another fucking person. I'm burning everything down. So, next, I can't read this shit. Where are my glasses? Oh, would you ever go back to the vanilla life?
Fuck no. And that's all I have to say about that.
Would you ever go back to the
Ever
vanilla
go
life?
back to the vanilla? Nah. Give the chance to. I would go out and say I don't like club violence. Like I don't like clubbing. I don't like what is it club? What is the club on the east side?
Oh, fucking Oz?
Yeah, I don't like eyes. Like I don't think I can. I don't think not only could go back to vanilla life, but no offense, I don't think I could go back to like vanilla African American life.
No.
I don't think I can do it. Like, it's just too, like, I know everyone has their own, like, different things of, like, culturally, like, their beliefs, but I really feel like our community is so closed-minded and so, like, narrow-minded on, like, these are the few things that make us us, and if that's all the only options I had, I'd never go back.
Hell no, I can't go back. I've tasted the sweet nectar, and it's like Coke shit. Coke is bad. Don't do drugs.
Like I said, it's like a drug.
It's really good. It's a drug, and it's a safe drug because it's a learning drug, and it helps you become more of the person that you know that you are. So no, I would never go back to it. I can sit there and I can tone down on some of my kinky shit, but I can never completely go back to vanilla. Like, you know, I'm into some weird shit, so if they're like, hey, you know, that's a hard limit for me, I can't do it, alright, cool. I'm willing to negotiate. But I can never completely go to vanilla. Like, once again, like, fucking just split my wrist.
Now, next thing I want to talk about is racism in the BDSM community. Because of course, racism is everywhere. Not just everywhere, but everywhere. Everywhere. This is bad. Like, going certain places and you can tell what's what. Like, there's a place we go to on the east side taboo. You go in there, mostly white people, and then a small section of black people. And they generally stay separated. And I try to, mingle in between everybody, but I'll go talk to someone that I don't know, that's this white, and you look at me like, who the fuck are you? Last time I checked, it was. And it's sad that it has to be that way, because there is so much that we can all learn from each other, black and white, Asian, Latino, whatever. But they choose to separate by.
I mean, like you said, before we came here, we went to so many different kind of events all over St. Louis, and we found, that it's prevalent everywhere. And it's not always, what you think of. It's not always like that immediate desegregation. It definitely can seem like, if you really pay attention, you'll more pay attention to it. You'll pay attention to the fact that you have a few things here in St. Louis, like in the city, a few places to go. But then if you really want to get into BDSM in at the very least the St. Louis area, you're going out in the country. Out in the country. Like you're going either to East St. Louis or you're going to butt fuck. Like, where are we right now? I don't have service. I probably shouldn't be out here with my skin color at this late at night. Like, honestly. And it's not just a one race thing. It's just, honestly speaking, the history of everything. And also, that's why I tell people all the time, I get all my friends to try to open up their mind, because if you want it to be more of us, if you want it to be more places that we would go, if you want to go to the club and have a peak night, you gotta get out there, you gotta go. If more of us start going to more things, more of us start showing up, there'll be more things.
I think the POC community and in general segregate each other because we're used to being segregated. We find comfort in people that look like us. Like we come in, if we walk into a place, we immediately, without even knowing, we do that quick eye search for someone like, oh shit, they're brown, they're over there, I'm going over there. Like you immediately go to it, and then also in the community the POC community, you don't really learn a lot of things that is considered taboo because generations and generations have been taught not to talk about things. Like they don't talk about mental illnesses, they don't talk about, growing up, and basically trying to build yourself out of that, that limit that society and the government has set for you as a black person, as a Latina. Like it's just, you segregate yourself, and it's just because of generational habit. And pretty much with the new age that's been going on and all that, people are starting to learn a lot more that they can step outside of that uncomfortable ass bubble, but it's just slowly but surely. And I hope that I could be one of those people that influence a lot of other people to experience a lot of things in life, not even sexually and not even in BDSM community, but just about themselves in life, experience that, yeah, you can be that, white talking person and, just don't let your skin tone hold you back from achieving greatness. And achieving a good ass orgasm, but
Let's see, just earlier this morning, I made a post on Facebook, and the person asked me, "Are you a swinger?" I said, more BDSM, I do both. And they're like, "I can't do that. How can you do that kind of thing? You're married and blah, blah, blah." It's all about understanding and communication. So if you don't have those two things, you can't do it. Because you'll just be single, period, the rest of your life. If you don't have that understanding and communication.
I think it's a big thing. I guess I learned from different parts of my life. It's a big part of it is about exposure and things that you have exposure to, and about exposing yourself. Alex, who is one of my partners, he said a long time ago. He was talking about how did it go? He said vulnerability is a very scary thing. First of all, but it's all about proximity and comfort. Like, a person being close to you and a person being comfortable to you will lead you to like opening up parts of yourself that you've never done, and exposing parts of yourself, and then exposing parts of themselves to you. And that exposure is something I feel like our community just doesn't get. I mean, like I said, like I would go to places just to go. Like, once I had a bus pass, you could not stop me. Once I realized like I had a bus pass, and if I had like a good amount of time, I could get from the stuff that I knew to literally Scott Air Force Base, which if you've never been out to Scott Air Force Base and you're closed-minded, just go out to Scott Air Force Base and come back home. Like, your mind, it gets open if you just go far enough to expose yourself. So.
Okay. So, next question. How does the judgment of other Black people that are vanilla bother you or affect you? Like, does it affect you in any way, vanilla Black people, when they judge you?
No, I thought I do. That was a big reason. That's a big reason I don't go to clubs, because like I guess I'm too. I feel like, what is it, like Sheldon from like Big Bang Theory or something like that. I feel like I think too much, and I feel like if I go to a club or any party, like I like raves because there's like that sexual feeling, there's a sexual tension. You more than likely know like someone's actually fucking there, but like in a lot of our clubs and stuff like that, like a lot of people talk about our dance moves are so, you know, very raw. We make contact with each other, but it's like you're not doing anything. And that's why, like, when my mind, I'll be in my mind at a club, and I'm like, I could be fucking right now. Or like, more likely, when I went to clubs, like, I was going to a club with someone that I was fucking. And in my mind, I'm just like, why aren't we fucking? And so, or someone like, if it's like they saw like the person I was with and like was like wanted to dance with them, wanted to do that. Like, you don't want to dance with them. You don't want to do anything like that. You want to fuck them. You want to go that next step. You want to cross that line. And every time you're going out to the club, every time you're doing that, it was just kind of like leading up to it and just baby stepping into it. And me, my mind already being there, I was like, no, I'm there already. I'm doing that already. Like, it just didn't make sense to me. So I forgot the question.
Yeah.
I completely forgot the question.
How?
Being judged by
vanilla Black people. How does that affect you, or does it affect you?
I remember, it's funny because my mom, like I said, my mom's a lesbian. Like, my mom asked me, I wrote on like a profile of mine a long time ago about, because back then all I knew about was being bi-curious. I didn't know pansexuality. I didn't know. So it was just like, at first for a long time I was like, oh, I'm bi or I'm bi-curious. And she saw like a profile of mine that said like, oh, I'm kind of bi-curious. And she was like, she sat me down, she's like, is there something you need to tell me? And I was like, really? I can kind of figure that you know. She's like, well, no, like, is there something you need to tell me? Like, are you gay? I'm like, no, but it sounds like I'm bi. She's like, I don't know how I feel about that. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, you're she's like, just be careful out here. Like, it's kind of bad out here. And I knew, it came from a place of just worrying about me and stuff like that. But it's just like, I'm never worried about what people have to say to me about me or about what I do, because it's just like, you want to. I know you want to. Everyone wants to. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Being judged by little people, I look at it almost like I look at people that have tattoos and people that don't have tattoos. They judge others. People without tattoos judge people that have tattoos. Somehow. And it's like, well, you don't have tattoos, so you don't know. So, whatever the fuck you think, I don't give a shit. Let me go back around my way and fuck the shit out of this chick right here. With some leather, maybe double penetration, whatever. Just having fun, but they're all in their little mundane world. All set. Just
Love.
yeah. That.
Do I look at my factory? I'm not gonna lie, I kind of do. Because I want everyone to understand me. And so when they don't understand me and all that, it used to affect me a lot more. But now I'm more comfortable in myself, and it took pretty much this just happened over the last couple of years where I've become more comfortable in myself and who I am. But it still affects me a little bit because I don't understand why people want to judge me so badly, because I'm living my truth and I'm living my life. Because he's straight, he's pansexual, I'm queer. This is a large spectrum, and just in the Black community, pretty much the only one that would be accepted would be him. Because he's a straight male. He would be fucking shunned, he would be sent there getting threats, I would be sent there getting threats. I've been called a fucking dirty dyke before and all that extra shit, and I'm just like, man, because I fucked your bitch, I finessed your bitch. Okay, so, but I let it affect me a little bit, but not, I kind of snap out of it because I just remember that I'm happy, and as long as I live my life the way that I believe that it should be lived, and I can go to bed at night with no regrets, then why the fuck does someone else matter? I've been in those club situations where it's like, why am I in the club? I want to be fucking. My fucking thing, back then, I remember I had this friend, she always wanted me to go to the club with her, and at that time I wanted to be in a relationship, and she was just like, no, and so I got mad at her, and I was just like, I want to ride this person's face, and so I just started yelling in the middle of the club. I was like, I'll ride his face tonight. So it was lit. It was some good shit, and it affects me, but not as much because I know that I'm happy, and they want to judge me because it's probably something that they want to experience, but they don't have the courage to, so they want to basically tear somebody else down because apparently something inside of them is being torn down. So I just remember that, and I continue and I live my life. It hasn't stopped me so far, because I'm still going to try to rise some fucking face.
I'll tell a quick story that goes, I guess, kind of along with that. One of the first times, I went to college originally, I went off to college, and I'm an open person, I joke about anything and everything, but I guess I never joked about, certain things, because you never know who you come into contact with and things like that. Meanwhile, mind you, while I was at college, I'm in a relationship with two people. I'm all over the place, but majority of the things I keep, not quiet, I'm hiding it, but just I don't tell it unless they're asking. Well, it's funny because there was a girl there that everyone kind of knew and things like that. She's super quiet, super shy, things like that. Well, not only does she come out as gay at the time to all of us, and all of us were kind of accepting and things like that, but a few of us actually stayed kind of in the dorms by her and everything like that. And a few friends called me one night, and they're like, hey, Teddy, can you go check on, such and such? We don't know where she is. I live by her. I go down. I'm about to go knock on the door, and I kind of go by the door, and I just hear, and I'm like, wait, okay, I know this signal. I know this sign. I don't go in that room. I don't go in. Well, it's like, I know that sign, I know that signal, I know not to go in the room. Well, the thing about it was, I know that she had come out as gay, but nothing like that. She had a girlfriend on campus. Not only were they fucking on campus and things like that, her girlfriend was from another school or whatever like that. She had a girlfriend on campus, and they were doing like kinky stuff. Like she was tied up on the she was apparently tied up. Because once I went back into the room, I came into the room like a little bit after that to like check on her. She was all good, and she was just kind of tired. But I remember seeing like some straps, like one, like if you have like a bunk bed that's up this way, like this is bunk bed, there was like a strap right here, like with a little collar thing, and like a strap right there, like a little collar thing. And like my mom was like, wait a second. I'm like, yeah, 2 and 2 together means okay.
That's right. I thought it was going
I'm gonna go like, and so it's funny because like I thought of myself as this person that just was wild and crazy and things like that, and here this person is. I kind of walk in and be on the outside of that. It would be you, like the kinkiest person we know. I was like, okay, she kinky.
You really don't know a person's level of kinky, because I just found out what FetLife was like a little over a year ago. I did not know what it was. My friends told me about FetLife. They're vanilla, and they think the kinkiest thing is, like smacking a bitch on the ass and just being like, oh, you a dirty girl. Oh. And they told me about FetLife, and I was just like, what the fuck is that? And he was like, yeah, it's like a Facebook for like fucking horny people. And I was like, oh, well, cool. And I joined it, and I found out about this place. So yeah.
Any questions?
Subject of 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh God.
Oh.
Taking me.
Yes. The issue with 50 Shades of Grey. Now, granted, yes, it's just a book. It's just a movie. However, there are a lot of people that take that shit to heart. And that's wrong. Completely dead wrong. The main antagonist, Christian Grey, is a sociopathic abuser with money issues. Now, and not only that, he's also a stalker. Now, if that doesn't spell abuse to me, shit, nothing else does. Just reading the whole synopsis of the book is just ridiculous. If you can't get out of that he's not all there in the head, I don't know what to tell you. But the only thing he has that I like is a damn good toy, and that's it. Other than that, his behavior when it came to the main protagonist was irreprehensible. Horrible. So when I heard people talking about this movie and how turned on they were, and I just recently heard that at the premiere, when people went to see the sequel, some people that go to clean up theater found cucumbers in theater.
That was at the first one too. Like the first one, it was just pictures and pictures and pictures of cucumbers and condoms. And then there was a big ass cucumber, and I was like, who the fuck is showing this? Okay, anyway.
It's an air fryer for you. She came prepared, alright? It's funny.
So turned into a pickle.
Before you go ahead and say that, I actually worked at a movie theater when 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
so that Valentine's Day that 50 Shades of Grey came out, I worked at AMC. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna say which one. I worked at the Esquire. So it was funny because for the first opening week, actually, it wasn't young people. Oh yeah, like it was like because 50 Shades of Grey is a rated R movie. So once you're 18, you can go to it. But the majority of people that were going in to see it, like opening and stuff like that,
middle-aged white women.
Middle-aged white women. And not to like stretch the white, but middle-aged white women were coming to see it in droves. And going and seeing all this bad information just being put like right there in their face. But again, I say, this is the exposure. This is what we have. This is, at the very least, is what we have. This is the best that all the authors that have gotten published, this one got picked out to be put into a movie, and then like that. That's it. That's the exposure.
It's because the book itself went viral.
Exactly.
And I don't know what kind of research the author did. Exactly. But they took it, ran with it, and making a myth off of misinformation. Yep. Which frankly can get people killed.
It was made for soft core porn for women who want that sensuality of love, but still with a little bit of like raunchy sex. Like you get those what are they called, zings?
Yeah.
That's all it was. It was just like a fucking like dirtier zing. That's all it was. Like
I heard like there's certain versions of
I
Zing.
don't watch porn.
Well, Zing was like just books.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I saw they turned into movies because I saw my mom watch one and she was like, you don't see this, and I'm like, that shit's
They were like
So, pretty much trying to put 50 Shades of Grey into the actual BDS community is fucking wrong. It's fucking wrong. Because they did not follow any type of protocol. People want to sit there and be like, oh, well, you know, they had negotiations. That shit is not how negotiations go down.
the first thing that he says, fuck the rules.
Yeah.
He says fuck the paperwork.
Like, that is not, because negotiations always does not involve paperwork because me and him, we were collared, and I was collared. But we were together, and there was no paperwork. We did not sign. We did not do a fucking like blood fucking oath and all that shit. It was just, we discussed rules with each other, and we discussed hard limits, soft limits, do's and don'ts, and things of that nature. And that's pretty much what it is. It's just like a fucking regular ass relationship. You just open communication, honesty, and like you just keep it fucking like keep it pure. Well, we can't keep it pure. You keep it as pure as you can while being dirty. And it's pretty much just it's nothing like the fucking movies. Even though I watched the first movie with my friend and she pretty much like soaked her fucking carpet, I didn't really get into it because I wanted her to like actually learn about the actual community. But once again, she thinks that like, oh, I think I told you about her. She's the one that gets off on, but doesn't get off on vaginal. It's weird. But her vagina scares me. Hi, Ashley. So yeah. But 50 Shades of Grey do not compare it to BDSM, at least the BDSM that I live, because I will punch you in the throat. The end.
I think one person down who's a submissive of mine, she loves taking things like that, taking what we have, which is shitty rom-com, and using it. Like, she talks to people that want to go see it, that might be interested in kink or just might be interested in, getting into a relationship. And she talks like, okay, if you want to go see it, like, we'll go with you, and if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. And I liked the response of a lot of the kink community after it came out to just be like, if you got questions, just come on in. Because, right, with something like that, you can't control what people are going to be exposed to, but you can definitely be the good part that educates them and doesn't just prey on, like, the fact of, like, a whole bunch of people are going to see this movie, getting hot and bothered. All right, I can get some free, whatever. But
the one good thing about this movie that came out is that it did give us more exposure. It gave us more acceptability. We're not completely accepted, but it gave us a little bit more acceptability. Now I'm actually able to find a date. My phone speaks dry.
But I mean, that's why I said, like, definitely the biggest thing I've always learned is just using, no matter what the exposure is, no matter how bad it is. I mean, I've been hearing that the new one is really supposed to be worse, but, like, what worse compared to what, but it's just like using, it's like using what you're giving when it comes to a movie like that where you have abuse, you have things like that. I mean, I talk to people about the fact that there's BDSM relationships where you don't have to put a single hand on anyone. There are BDSM relationships where, like, there's no pain involved. that's all mental. Their BDSM relationships of a big rainbow. So the fact that that's what's being exposed is like you can only use it and say, hey, it's everything that's out there.
You just gave me a question.
Yes.
So what do you do in the BDSM lifestyle, and what do you do in the BDSM lifestyle?
Well, to me, personally, I'm into impact play and sensation play. I like doing forced orgasm sessions, which is fun. And, of course, trying out the new toys that I make. I'm starting to get into electricity, and meaning I can't do much of it, given my pacemaker here, but that doesn't stop me from doing that on a willing participant. So basically, I like seeing their reactions to what I do and how far I can push them and where they end up in their subspace, how far they go, and what I equate to is traveling through space, like how many galaxies away that they're going to land on, and how long it takes them to get back. Because sometimes, like with her, it would take her maybe 30 minutes to almost an hour to get back from wherever she ended up on after we had a really good session. And when you're doing various things with your partner, you learn what they like, what they don't like, what you can do to reward them, what you can do to punish them, should they screw up. Like there are some that like stinging pain, which that's where dragon tails and small items come into play. The smaller the item, the smaller the contact surface, the more it stings. The bigger the item, the larger the contact surface, the more it thuds. Thud is like pressure being pushed. Like I've made floggers that weigh, I would say, at least about 5 to 7 pounds, and that hitting you it equates to about a good, not very good with dynamics, but
A lot.
yeah.
It rocks your body.
Yeah, it can. I have one flogger that's really huge, and it can push you around just swinging it. I made one for the owner of this place that is the biggest one I've ever made, and guy that I'm mentoring, he swung it, and it took him with it after he swung around it.
This boy is like $1.90 soaking wet, so like.
No, he's 125 pounds.
Sandy's only 120.
Between one, no, I take it back. He's between 130 and 140. He's small. But this flogger probably weighs 10 pounds, and that momentum is probably about a good 300 to 400 pounds pulling. So, yeah.
I definitely learned a lot of the more mental side, not because of lack of physical ability or anything like that, but I was always a big mental person, and I like a lot of learning. I like a lot of pushing boundaries too, but I love people's minds. I love what goes on in people's minds. So when it came to BDSM and everything I learned like all the physical stuff first to get it kind of, you learn the physical stuff, you learn the basics, you learn your flogging, you learn proper, like, actually bringing it around, on your arm, like, real flogging, actual whipping, things like that. But then going past that, like I said, learning what BDSM means to people, where it sprouts from in people, where, like, okay, if a person's been abused in their life, but then they want to be in the BDSM, where do you go? Like a person having an episode and they're, in the BDSM. Like, for example, like Downer, she's a pet, but she might have an episode of like depression. So she might want to be rewarded, like, oh, a good girl, or like she might want to, be petted or things like that, or to do something like that. And how BDSM can be used, like, almost as a form of like therapy.
It is.
And it's definitely not something to just toy with, but at the same time, if you learn it, it can be so helpful to help so many problems that there are people that want to do sexual things that they might not do it any other way unless you kind of know how to approach them, how to like I said, both mentally and physically have that kind of both control and kind of be able to see. Like I'm a switch, so I learned not only what it feels like to give like a certain play, but also like to receive that and to know like where my mind would go and like where another person's mind would go. So I'm a mental person.
It's interesting that you say that because I also like to do mind fucks. They're very interesting to do if given that you set them up properly. Like for instance, with one, I have a lot of sharp knives, and we were doing knife play. And while we were doing knife play, she sees these very large, sharp blades that I have, and I'm running across her body that give off an interesting sensation. They feel pretty good. But as I was doing that, she's not looking at what I'm doing. So I put all the knives down, and I pick up something really safe, but it has a sharp edge. And with that, I just basically, to her, I was filleting her legs. I mean, just cutting them wide open. But she never asked me to stop. And I just kept going, and by the time I was done, she was all the way there. And after the whole scene, I showed her what I used, and she was like, I could have sworn you were cutting my legs all the way over.
You used a fucking screwdriver. You used a fucking screwdriver. The little fucking screwdriver that it screws into other screws and shit. And you fucking used the screwdriver on the back of my leg, and I was just like, bitch, you ain't gonna be able to walk. You didn't like cut all your fucking like
a flat tip screwdriver that was duller than dull. Had no sharp tip. Flat. But
Going back to but going back to kind of what we were saying, it's just like going from that, and the fact that, like you said, like mind fucks and things like that, it's things like that that help a person to open their mind. I mean, it's things like that that help people to be exposed to more. And the fact that people see BDSM, no matter if it's our people being black people or just anyone, they see BDSM, they think of it as just a few things, just as, like you were saying, like just as well as in 50 Shades. It's so much more than that, It's so much more either control, but also like giving. Like, Downham is a very selfish person, and people are selfish people, but I've never met someone in my life that's like more like, I want to give. And it's like to switch to like that I want to give mentality. That would be something like if not for BDSM, she would have never opened that part of herself because she would have never wanted to. BDSM can help with a whole lot of things more than just hurt a person and, like they said, 50 Shades of Grey, it's like, what do I get out of it? Me. Like, that's not a reward. Like, I was waiting for him to say something like, oh, you get pleasure, oh, you get, things like that. Because obviously she wanted to know, what do you get out of it? Like, you were going to come hard. Like, you're going to enjoy this. No, you're going to get me. That's it. Like,
I am a switch who is predominantly submissive. I am a pet. I am a little girl. I'm still exploring my other things. I realized a couple months to a year ago that I actually do have a dominant side. Shout out to James. And it's been a very great exploration of myself. BDSM is fucking therapy. It has helped me through a lot of things. Me being a victim of rape from family members, and then also relationships, and then also me being a person who suffers through a lot of mental illnesses. I have very bad anxiety and all that extra shit. it's been a release for me to be able to sit there and not have to worry about taking a bunch of pills, not have to worry about drugging myself out, not have to worry about possibly killing myself again, going through addictions and things like that. And me only being fucking 22, I went through a lot of shit. And so it's been a great therapy for me, and that's why I cannot go back to vanilla, because it helps me get through a lot of emotional issues that I have going on. It helps me sit there and build a connection. And with me, I'm not a great talker, even though I talk a fucking lot. I'm not good at it. So I love the mental part of it. I love the pain in it, because even the pain has emotions attached to it. And I am a very emotional human being. Everything that I do kind of derives off of my emotions towards a person. If I love you hard, and I love you fucking forever. And if I hate you, oh bitch, run. So it's a great therapy for me. It's a great thing, and it helped me explore the person that I am, the person that I want to be, and also the person that I know that I can achieve to become in life. And it gave me so much confidence in life, just outside of here, outside of these walls, to tackle so many things that normally people would tell me, oh, you can't do this, like, look at you, like, what the fuck, like, da-da-da. And now I'm just like, bitch, if you don't like it, like, you can suck on his ass. Normally I would sit there, like, back in the day, I'd be like, oh, I can't do that. Like, you know, I can never find love. No one would ever love me, you know. I can't sit there and be successful. I can't, you know, try to achieve my lifelong dream. I would just basically be like, you know, I'm just going to be this bitch that plays Skyrim until I die in my bed, and, you know, masturbate. But now I'm actually like, you know, fuck yeah, fuck Skyrim. And so, like, it's helped me mentally more than I actually noticed. And when you just started talking about it like that, I was like, damn, like, this is my therapy. This is where I go. I just called it my happy place, but this is my therapy.
Down into this day, she saw way back when, like, apparently she saw, like, a therapist way before I met her.
Yeah.
And then, like, I guess up to it, she hated it. She hated seeing the therapist. She doesn't like people talking to her. She doesn't like people, like,
Therapy gives me anxiety, and this place does not give me anxiety. I don't like to talk, and therapists, they make me talk and all that, and I'm not good at that. This place, or just this community, I don't have to talk, but yet I get my therapy out. I get everything that I need to say and let out without actually even having to really speak a fucking word. I speak moans, but I don't speak words. And yet, I will walk out of this bitch feeling way better than when I walked out of a fucking psychiatrist with a fucking prescription for, like, you know, fucking a list of shit that they gave me since the age of fucking 12. So yeah, this is my shit.
And that just reminds me that me being a dom, and most people think that, oh, he's a dom, there's nothing wrong with him, he's mentally sound. I suffer from severe anxiety as well, and this is my therapy as well. If I don't get out of the house to come to events, you know, I start getting depressed because I'm not getting that, I guess, exposure or BDSM community love or whatever. You know, I can't describe it, but just being here is calming to me. Being around people that I care about and that are like-minded with me, you know, makes me feel better. Being able to have a scene with someone, whether it's someone that I know or someone that I've never met, and having a scene, it's therapy. You can get, unless you're like super pissed off, you can get out whatever is in that needs to come out. And it's like, I had a scene with a gender fluid person, and they hold a lot of stuff in. And their only goal for the scene that we did was to cry. That's all they wanted, was to cry. Yeah. And I knew how to help her. That's how she decides to identify as a woman sometimes. I helped her deal with pain so that she could accept and get out what she was dealing with. Because before, after a little bit, she couldn't take anymore. But with a simple breathing exercise, she was able to take more. I was able to push her farther, and therefore she was able to get out whatever it was that she was holding in. And the scene ended up being very, very good. So, yeah.
Also, I'm a fucking introvert. I pretend to be extroverted because anxiety, like I feel like a person wants me to be extroverted. Just because of the way that I am, the way that I look, and when I actually do speak, they were just like, oh, why don't you speak? You need to speak more because like you're just very odd. And I realized here that in the community that I can be very introverted, and I can find other people who are like me who are introverted where you don't need to speak, you just, silence is golden, and also you can actually achieve way more with silence than you can with speaking. And it's been very comforting because now I enjoy silence. I used to get anxiety from silence where I just wanted to be loud, even if I'm by myself, just to be loud, just so I can feel that silence with something so I won't feel like I'm creating a burden for myself and also for other people. Now I can just be silent and just enjoy it, and it's because of people that I've met in this community and also people that have come into the community with me to learn with me, and so it's a great learning experience, and it's really helped me grow, and it's really helped me mature, and it's, yeah. I feel like my little girl face kicking in because I just feel good.
Do we have any questions?
I was going to say, has there ever been any discussion about any blacks in this, particularly in the United States, who are in the community, as to whether or not they have a problem with engaging in the activity with Caucasians? Because I heard some people say, and I think it's probably true that a lot of times blacks generally stay with blacks and whites stay with whites, etc. But something about the legacy of slavery.
Okay.
I think you mean like interracial play and race play?
Yeah. And then there was like, I came across like a documentary where this white woman, she was a dominatrix, and she said that she has a problem being a dominant over a black, whether it's a male or female, submissive.
Yeah.
I
can see that.
Because of the legacy of slavery.
Yeah.
It comes from a real place.
Yeah. Me personally, I have no issues playing with anyone that's white, black, Latino, Asian, whatever. I have no problem playing with other people of other races. Now, as far as sex goes, I stay black, Asian, Latino. I have no sexual attraction to anyone that is Caucasian.
Did you know? I've done race play, not in this sense. I've done interracial play. I've had white boyfriends, white girlfriends. My ex recently, within the last year. I've had, like I said, I had a white boyfriend. We were together for a year and a half. It was a polyamorous relationship. It was me and his white wife. But he was my dom at the sense, and I was his submissive / little girl. And me personally, I don't have a problem with, me dating and being with, anyone of a different race, gender, well, of course, gender, my motto is, I don't care what you identify as, gay, straight, male, female, whatever. If I like you, I don't care what you have between your legs, I'm going in there and I'm sucking the soul out of it. So pretty much, I don't have a problem with, having a white person, but it did get a little bit racial in a sense, because...
That's the thing I'm talking about, because sometimes, some people, like, after a while, if push comes to shove, they might open up the race card,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And he definitely started to do that, where he started to claim me in a sense where he wanted me to be his slave. And, my ancestors don't play that, so I wanted to let say that word to me. And so, it came to a sense, and then we started experimenting with toys, and then he tried to, grab a whip, and I was just like, my ancestors don't play that, they will fuck you up. So it can get a little racial, and that's just because, it's not because of white people in general, it's mainly because of that one white person and how they don't want to actually learn the lifestyle. They just want to claim a label and be like, oh yeah, I'm now your master, I'm now your dom. And and then it's a fetish for them. A lot of white people have that fetish where they want to have some black person in their life to have a claim over. And they sit there and they want to be like, well, that doesn't make me, I'm not being racist, but in a sense it's racist. And it's a racial background to it. Because with me and him, we started off having a good ass relationship, the sex was and so everything, but once I started to see that racial point in there where pretty much he was like one minute away from calling me his nigga bitch, like it had to stop. And so it is possible, and it is a lot of people in this community that will take that advantage of it, but it's not everyone.
Right. Because most of the time I've seen, like, as far as with black and whites, most of the time I see white men that are submissive, and I see hardly no black men involved in it. And then as far as white women, most of them I've seen are dominatrixes, and virtually all the black women I've seen, as well as virtually all the white women, even though most women I've seen were white women, just white people period, but just about all the black women were dominatrixes, just about all the white women were dominatrixes, but there was more white women, but there was hardly no black men, and then there was still a lot of white men, but not as many, but virtually all of them were submissive.
No, I mean...
Because they felt like, and a lot of those men seem to be dominant in everyday life, being a corporate executive or junior executive or whatever, and they're climbing up the ladder of corporate America, whatever you want to call it. But many of them feel this need that they're almost ashamed of to express to their wife or their girlfriend, so they go somewhere else, unless they are fortunate enough to come across a woman in their life that, is a part of that life as well. But oftentimes their wife or their girlfriend is not into that, or they don't know, but they don't want to bring it up because they're afraid of she might turn away from them.
Coming from the side of, Jakie being a black female submissive, and then coming from, I guess, a black male, very possibly sub, I never was afraid of it. I knew it was out there. I currently date a male. Mind you, yes, he's trans, but he's a male. And it's never been there. Mind you, he's my submissive. But even if he wasn't my submissive, I know him.
Right.
And I don't think I would. That's why going back to like the whole if you had to go back to being vanilla, if you had to go to being thing like that, I still think you meet a person and you know what they're about. You know what I mean? Like that's why you're kind of cautious before you get into something. And if I ever kind of caught it, I'd be kind of like I would be anxious to date him in the first place. You know what I mean? So it's just like the fact that I date a white male now, and although he's my submissive, like even if he was my dominant, that line I would never let him cross it because it's like Jakie said, like I might be submissive, but I'm a pain. I love pain. When it comes to submissive, I love pain. I love talking down to me. I love all that, but then there's like I don't have limits, but like there's that one like you don't you don't do that.
That one line you just don't cross.
Exactly. What I tell white people if they sit there and they try to do that, I am dark skinned. I will hurt you. But I've had white male submissives. I used to be a dominant to a black male submissive, and he was interesting. But yeah, like it's I try not to sit there and make it as much of a racial issue, but it does turn out to be a racial issue because, you know, there are people that will sit there and push that racial boundary and sit there and cross that line, and they don't understand, like, this is your lane, stay in your fucking lane. Do not try to sit there and merge into my fucking lane or I will hurt you. But, you know.
Bars.
So, you know, you try to, I always pride myself on trying to be as open-minded as possible, and that's why, you know, I don't sit there and I don't let skin tone stop me. But when I do see that you are letting the skin tone become a priority type of thing in the relationship, no matter if it's, you know, a regular, you know, BDSM relationship or, you know, just us dating type of thing, when I see that that is becoming an issue, I do put a stop to it, because it's a lot of people out there that just sit there and be like, oh, you know, she's my black trophy. And I don't like that.
Yeah. To lighten, if there's any lightening of it, coming from the other side of that, submissive, non-submissive like that, I'll go out and say it. There's nothing like being a man and having a person of another color, like, get like that close to saying like, fuck me with that N-word thing. Like, there's no feeling in this world that like, you feel empowered and yet put down, like all the same time.
Oh yeah, my ex.
You know what I mean? Like,
he wanted to tell me how great it was to finally like have a black pussy, and I'm just like.
Like it was gonna be like Donald Glover. He's just like there's no feeling. Like you feel really excited, but at the same time you're like, is that racist? Like
it's a compliment and an insult within itself.
Yeah.
It is. Because me, I'm a black female, but I'm basically Afro-Latina, and you don't fuck with me. You don't, and you don't make it seem like you're only with me or you're only interested in me because of my race.
Right.
Yeah,
and
I don't like being fetishized.
Do not call me fucking exotic. You call me fucking exotic, I'm gonna fucking slice your body parts.
Exotic is definitely an interesting word.
I fucking hate that word. Because they'd be like,
Oh, speak to me in a different language. Oh my god, you're so exotic.
Years ago.
Accent, I know.
oh yeah, you haven't heard mine yet, dude.
I know, bro.
Years ago, someone pulled that exotic shit on me.
Like they called you exotic?
Yes.
Oh yeah, they call us exotic. Oh yeah.
Tell me more.
I'll tell you.
We real exotic. There's nothing like bringing home a good, well-speaking Jamal. So you can get home. Because like, I was the guy that like you could bring home and not be afraid. Because I don't give a fuck. My real name is Thomas. Come on now.
Dead ass.
Come on now. Like, they're not gonna be afraid. I was a dude like you could bring it home.
Tom's is gonna rob us. Watch out.
Mr. Washington, how you doing today? Kimberly and I have been seeing each other for a little while.
You smoke around my daughter?
Oh no, yeah, Kim's my mom.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. But it's just like that's to say it. Like, of course you get worried about it and things like that, but at the same time, like, you don't let it worry. You don't let it hold you back, because honestly, that's one thing. Like, if it's fucked up with me, like, I'll go ahead and say it. Like, I'm kind of fucked up. I learned to use those things like that to help break people down, to help break that like tradition, to help break that wall, to help get them out of that box. If they're gonna come with it, I remember I was at this summer program, and you have to basically be roomed with like a person completely from a different part of the world. For me, that didn't happen. My roommate, he had a friend that was roommates with someone that was from like Istanbul. But my roommate was from buttfuck Oklahoma. My roommate was from buttfuck Oklahoma, and it was his first time seeing a black man on a college campus.
What?
It was his first time seeing one. It was his first time seeing one. He'd never seen anyone before. Everyone that went to his high school, everyone that went to his school, they all looked like him. They all talked like him. They all were him. They had never seen him before like that. So of course they had questions, but the thing that I loved about them is that they kept it real and they never crossed that line.
That's good.
They never crossed that line. Because there wasn't any line to cross. They came from a place of just like, listen, I'm be honest with you. I've never met one. I've never met one of you. I hear things.
So they didn't grow up with like the prejudice or anything. They grew up pretty much open-minded.
They said they have friends that did, but there's like one reason we're in this program is because we're not like that.
Well, me, I grew up I was born in Chihuahua. I came here, my mom, she smuggled me here. Hello, Mom. But yeah, like I was up under the titty. So, you know, I had a very thick accent. It was not sexy. I got ridiculed, and basically I was told that, pretty much me growing up, I was told that I'm not black enough. And then when I tried to be black, then I was told I was trying too hard to fit in and be black. And then so I ended up basically, I did white people shit. And so I stuck around white people. I dated a lot of white people.